Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight we have the 9 of Cups, which has everything to do with happiness. A very welcome card indeed. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight, Virgo. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell icon. When you do, it'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so it looks like we have a 27 right here. We went that way. I was going the wrong way. Okay. And then we have what looks like 12, 12. So repeating 12. We have a 27 and 12, 12. Okay. So I would like to start. Here. The first thing that really caught my eye was we have a person sitting here. You can see their head here, their body, a chair. And it almost, I first thought, okay, they maybe are sitting at a desk writing, but it does look like they're maybe driving a car because we have like kind of a steering wheel here. And the rest of it kind of does look like a car, with the wheels and the vehicle here. And I almost imagine kind of a driving in a very scenic area. And up here we have a bird. It looks like maybe a peacock. It has that little, thing, feathers on the top of the head. It's a cute little hat. I feel like this is definitely a time where you may be traveling. Okay, or taking some nice drives into the country, doing something to get out of your normal environment. I think that there's just this kind of pull to kind of hit the road, go see some things, break up the monotony of it all, right? And we go through these first months of the year. And I think if you are like me anyways, I think that this is kind of like, for me, it feels like the boringest part of the year. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on, but it's just these months that it's like a transition into a new time. We're post all of the big holidays from, a lot of different cultures and religions at the end of the end of fall, going into that earlier part of winter, midwinter, and then we have just kind of a period of not a lot, right? And of course, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's kind of the opposite, right? You probably are quite busy with the heat, with all the things that go on at summer. Hopefully, you are able to, have a reprieve from that hot weather. And you know what? When it is very, very hot, it's kind of boring too. I grew up in Northern California, not always in the valley, but a good part of my life or my time in California, was in the valley. So it was pretty warm. And on those very hot days, I remember it was pretty, kind of, pretty sedate. You had to kind of hide in the house. If you had good air conditioning, you were lucky. Most of us had, wall units. So it was like, it wasn't very cool. Definitely a time where it's just, it feels like a transitional time. Okay. But now we're starting to get a little bit further in, aren't we? And, I think that this is like where we start to have the little stirrings of, the beginning of something else. And, there's a feeling of kind of wanting to break out of the, kind of dragging yourself through the days and getting all of your things done every day and, one task after another. And then it's like, okay, now I need a break. I need to go do something for, a day, a couple days, something. So here we are. And I think there really is this energy of, even just taking a nice little drive, clearing your head, maybe going in a direction you have not been. And with the peacock, I definitely feel like there is the energy of Juno here. And Juno is kind of the equivalent of Hera, right? Juno is a mother goddess, a middle goddess, and one of fertility, of wisdoms and beauty, and maybe not exactly like akin to Aphrodite, but kind of a beauty worked of of the natural qualities of this middle period of your life, of becoming somebody who is working into a great wisdom and knowing how to kind of do things, becoming that real queen energy. And so it makes sense that this would kind of be the patron of this little break here. Knowing when you need to kind of get away, you need to take your little reprieve and get in the car, or get on the bus, or get on the subway, or the L or whatever, and go and take a little trip around the way. And I think that this is something that is needed, definitely. I have felt in the Virgo readings, there has been a sense of kind of a growing pressure. And we get like this, right? And I say we because I am also a Virgo. But, there are times when we take on so much, we have so many things to do, and we get wound pretty tight, don't we? And not only can that start to bother us, but it kind of, it can affect the dynamic of our home life, of our family life, of our work life, and the other people who populate those spaces. So, it is always in our best interest to make sure that we are taking time to kind of step out of the system that we have kind of created for ourselves. And we're really good at creating systems, right? But, part of running a successful home, running a successful family, running a successful business or career, is that we have to take time away from it, because we will begin to kind of drown in the stress of it all, you know. And this is the thing about Virgos, is we often mistake stress for power. I don't know what it is, why. It's maybe conditioning, I don't know. But Virgos really, when we are feeling tight, it's like, okay, here we go. We are in this place of power. We're, you know, bossing up and all this kind of, you know, feeling of being the one in charge. And really, it's just like a mess. You know, we're getting into a really messy place with ourselves, losing our temper, getting annoyed very easily, making mistakes, forgetting things. And, you know, with the amount of things that you probably take care of, that makes sense, you know. But sometimes you have to get away. You have to do something else, even if it is for half a day, you know, a couple days, a weekend. Get out there and see something beyond the world, your immediate world, right? Hello, TT. Okay, now I want to look over here. We have what looks like a person in maybe a robe, and they have kind of antlers up here. You can see right in here. I am come over here. I am imagining, oh, come here, baby. Imagining some kind of you know, like a wilderness high priestess, wilderness high priest, wearing kind of a costume, or if you've ever seen, not the new version with Nicolas Cage, although that one's pretty good, but the old school Wicker Man with the even creepier masks. Something like that, you know. Or the other one that I watched recently are the 2 seasons of Yellow Jackets, which are really good. But there's this kind of, you know, a bit of borrowing, shall we say, of this kind of imagery, wearing the pelts, wearing the you know, the antlers of a slain beast, and a beautiful connection to the animal itself, to the earth. And so I look at this and I think that there really is a sense of knowing, a sense of having gone through these first initial periods of initiation. And maybe this has been long coming, and, you know, in those initial neophyte years, right? And you don't have to be initiated into a formal system or anything. You know, I am myself self-initiated, or what I consider myself to be self-initiated. And so coming into a place of being kind of elevated in the work that you do. I mean, really being seasoned. You know your stuff. You know probably which arts suit you. You maybe are a seer. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe a seer. Maybe we have a rabbit jumping. Maybe you are somebody who is a healer of some kind, but I also think that you're good at banishing maybe stagnant energies, blockages, but also pulling out inspiration, helping people move past these things that feel immovable to them, but you are somebody who has a perspective and an ability to help guide somebody through some of these challenges, okay, and get them back into maybe a creative place, a place of healing, a place of it's just, I keep getting this sense of cleansing. I keep seeing eggs pulling eggs, and maybe like ritual bathing. But with the rabbit, there's a sense of being able to bring abundance into the equation, and with the rabbit, we know a rabbit is a constantly multiplying animal, right? And so when we have it as a symbol, it means this is an energy where things are evolving quickly. It is fertile ground. The ideas and the ability are fertile, and I could see you being somebody who is definitely some kind of guide, but also, like I said, a seer. I think a seer as well. I think you are able to peer into people. I think that you see kind of the internal affairs, right, of a person. I think that there have been times in your life where you have maybe made a friend or somebody at work, and you talk to them as if they've already told you something about themselves, and you just kind of mention casually as though it was something they had already kind of divulged to you, and they say, well, how did you know that? Well, because you can see their inner workings. You can see things that they don't necessarily realize are perceivable by others. And so you have insights. Now, this can make you intimidating. I think that sometimes people don't know how to communicate with you, or they're very guarded at first because they worry that you know something about them that they don't want you to know. Well, here's the thing about Virgos, though, is that, we might see some things about you. We might understand some things about you that may be difficult for you. They're part of the shadow, right? But as a Virgo, it's kind of like we're really down to earth. I think that usually we're people who are, we see what's up, but we're not very judgmental about it, right? It doesn't matter what you do in your life as long as you're not impeding my life or hurting anybody vulnerable, basically, right? Other than that, it's on whatever you do. And I also think just very accepting of people's differences, very inclusive. Virgos are definitely that. So, I think that once you kind of start to get to know somebody and they think, okay, well, you're just like kind of a really regular person. you have your abilities here, but you're very, you're very approachable, relatable, and, you have the ability to communicate with other people in a way that they understand, and they feel heard and seen, and you also are vulnerable so that they may see you. Okay. And that's maybe why, in these readings, I like to relate a lot of my own experience with whatever I'm talking about, not because I'm like self-obsessed. I know myself more than anybody else in my life, but I think it is a Virgo thing. I want people to feel like, I'm on the level with you. I get it. You don't have to feel embarrassed with me. You don't have to feel like You know, I'm going to think any type of way about anybody. You know, I'm just here, and I've been through it, and I'm, you know, it's like an open heart, right? Open door, open heart. So, let's see, what else do we have going on? Okay, so this one, and I'm going to take a little sip here. This one over here, we have enthroned person up here, which is really a fancy way of saying somebody sitting on a throne or a fancy chair. They're elevated. Now it looks like they're also in a boat, and you can see kind of the front of the boat here. And it does. It looks kind of like this very regal situation we have going on here. A very nice boat. And then we have, it looks like a bowl here in the middle. So maybe a Taurus involved in this situation. I feel like there is this shift in these last months where you are really meeting some lifelong goals. Not just one, I think maybe one or two. And I feel that this year, the year of the dragon we have down here, this is going to be your year. You're going to meet the things that you have been dreaming of, and accomplish the things, some of the things that you've been working for years. You know, getting the job you want, retiring, being able to travel some, maybe like paying off your mortgage or I don't know, your school loans, or, you know, something like this. A big deal. These are all big deals. And I can see there's this feeling of real confidence, really, really, you know, up there. Feeling good about yourself. Now, I also think, though, that you are, you know, obviously somebody who is so humble. So humble. No, I do think that there are times when you feel so excited about the things that you are doing. You are, it feels like leveling up and coming into this place where it's like, I never thought I would be here. Never thought I would do some of the things that I'm doing. And the thing is, it's hard to share it with other people. And that's where I think you're running into some issues. Okay. I feel like it's almost like you want to tell people, you want to share all of these victories, but at the same time, it feels like I don't want to be a braggart. I don't want to, you know, people in my life maybe aren't doing as well. A lot of people are struggling, you know, and it's like, I don't really know who to talk to about this stuff because it kind of is just like piling on in a way. And so I think this is something that really has more to do with you than not. I think if you think about it in a way that when your life is not going well, right, which we've all been in various places where things are not going in our favor, and you hear constantly just the bad news from people, and you feel for them, and it's hard, you know, it's hard for everybody, but your mind starts to believe like the world is just falling apart, everything is going terribly for everybody I know. You know, this is it's like a very doom energy. But then somebody has something nice to share. Oh, I'm pregnant. I didn't think I was able to get pregnant, and here I am pregnant. Or, oh, I'm, you know, buying my first house. Or I got the job that I've been trying to get for the last couple of years. Or, you know, whatever it is. You don't receive it in a way where it's like, ugh, I can't believe that they told me that. They know I'm really struggling, and it's awful that they, you know, think that they can flaunt that around. Well, no, you're not. You don't think of it that way. You think, finally, some good news. I'm happy to hear somebody I love, somebody that I care about is doing something magnificent. You know, it gives you some hope. So you have to think about this. You will bring the same kind of light into somebody else's life. You know, don't be afraid to share the happiness in your life with others. You know, we all want to hear the good news. It's like, it's why I have trouble even following the real news, right? So little of it is positive. But we know, all you have to do is go outside and into your community, and you know there are amazing things happening. You know, there's also hard stuff as well. There's no denying that. But we all do want to hear the good news sometimes. Okay, so get out there and share your news. You don't have to do it on social media if that's uncomfortable, but, you know, go and tell somebody, tell your best friend, tell, you know, your parents or whoever it is, right? Find somebody and tell them. Enjoy yourself, celebrate yourself. Okay. Oh, and that the Taurus, keep thinking, what is up with this Taurus? Okay, so I do feel like there's a Taurus person traveling with you. And we have the boat, so I know this is the movement of energy. Where there were blockages, right, your own blockages, you are really pushing through them. And I think this has a lot to do with these moments of completion where you are meeting the goal, you are seeing all of the work you've done, and it is manifesting, and, you know, you're feeling powerful here. So that's this boat, this barge or bark or whatever. And the Taurus, I mean, I just have to believe you have a Taurus person in your life that is along with you in some aspect somewhere. Maybe a kid or a spouse or a parent or, you know, whoever it is. But I think that they're kind of like, they ride with you always. You know, this is somebody you can always count on. I was going to say as much as you can count on a Taurus. But I love Taurus people. So, I mean, I don't really mean it like that. But Taurus people, they get busy with their own stuff, don't they? Sometimes you just cannot get a hold of them. So, although they're always, you know, your ride or die, they absolutely are difficult to get to answer the phone sometimes. So, let's see, what else do we have going on? We have a little flower up here. So we have this feeling of blooming. And I wonder if you are somebody who, maybe grows flowers, or, you have something coming up where you will receive some flowers maybe. But it seems like, I feel like there's a sense of flowers coming through, and physical flowers in the real world. Okay, let's see. And this one I'm looking at, it almost looks like we have a cup that's spilling over on top of this person. And so I really immediately think it is, you know, very much like the card, you know, it's the happiness spilling over, the mana, the nectar. And we also have a heart right there. So yeah, I feel like it's just, you are in a good place for real. In a very good place. Now let's see what we have over here. We have a 2. We have a 2. We have some musical notes. We have that dragon again. We have that dragon. And we have a person dancing. So I feel like there is a real draw to music here. I almost wonder if you're a musician, or if you are closely, somebody in your life is a musician. I feel like I almost get this feeling that they're always trying to get you to take you out or get you to go to like a concert or go dancing or whatever it is. And I feel like this year, and this might be aligned with the fact that you are doing so well, right? I feel like it feels like a lot of doors and windows have opened up in your life. And I feel like, there's a sense of, yeah, I want to go out and like do some things. I want to go out and have some fun. And I remember talking about going to like clubs or something a few, it's maybe been around Christmas or around there somewhere, for the Virgo reading. But I feel like there's a reemergence of this feeling of like, I want to go out and celebrate, go to a club, go to the opera, maybe go to some like little festivals or like like a blues festival. That's what I want to take my daughter to a blues festival so bad. They're just so fun, the blues and jazz and stuff. But I can imagine, I can see that this is a year of celebration. This is going to be a year of happiness and joy in a lot of ways. It's going to be a lot of work, though. Don't let me fool you. There's going to be a lot of work to be done, right? But then again, it's like we excel at staying busy. It just, it's a blessing and a curse. But it is the Virgo way, isn't it? All right, so now we're going to look at the Divine Doors cards, and I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay, and we have this beautiful temple door. We have one of the Buddhas there, and it says offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows. Share more than expected and see love come around. Yes. Yeah, I think it maybe is a Virgo thing too. I feel like Virgo people are just like very very giving. I think that we are pretty liberal with our resources to help people and time. The big thing is time, right? Even when I was living in like deep poverty, which wasn't even that long ago, I always felt like I just did what I could for the people around me. And I not to like this, listen, I'm not trying to say anything like I'm some great person, but I just really think that, and it's selfish. It comes from a selfish place, honestly, because in some ways I'm superstitious, but I also really believe that what we put out there comes back to us. And, being of service to the people in our community, especially people who, are ignored, who are forgotten. And if you watch my videos, I talk a lot about like visiting with elderly community members and, visiting with them, helping them where you can, carrying groceries, shoveling their walk, whatever it is. This just happens to be that I've lived in communities where there are a lot of elderly people. And so I've, gotten to know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of, family at all. So I've made a lot of family. I've created a lot of family for myself. And yeah, I think it's a Virgo thing. I also, one of my big tenets of life, which I don't have many, is that we treat people better than they treat us. We will not get anywhere in this world collectively if we don't start treating each other with more empathy. And if we don't actively start treating people more kindly, okay? We don't have to be nice all the time, but we have to be kind. Yeah. So, anyways, those are that's my little preaching there. But yeah, so Virgo, I love you. You know that. I'm going to take a drink here. And always I mention in my readings, my sister, she's a Virgo, so we are kind of the best, I think, as Virgos. But that's not true. I won't pick favorites. But yeah, my lovely sister, she's also a Virgo, so I have a great fondness. So I love you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It's free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. I'm a little bit behind on my comments. Doesn't mean I'm not reading them. I am. I just need to go through and do, more responding and hearting them. I try to heart all of them. But we are in the process of getting ready to move. So, what that is like. It is quite an ordeal. A happy one, but still a headache. So we will have new studios. And I'm saying we because it is me and my husband and I, and of course our daughter and the cats and everybody else. But we'll have new studios. And shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. He's amazing. Go check him out. If you have not seen his tarot readings yet, he is just absolutely talented. And his name is Paul. My husband. I like saying it because it sounds nice. But yes, his name's Paul. So anyways, we'll have some new studios pretty soon here. And hopefully everything runs as smoothly as possible in that transition. But we'll see. We'll see. So with that, again, I'll say I love you. Take care of yourself. And we'll talk in just a few days.